The Hulu original series, Furious, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
There are 3 victims we know of. The suspect is female, white, late 20s.
Female serial killers
kill for power, control.
I believe there's a deeper motivation here.
You have no idea who you're dealing with, and you are going to end up dead.
I've been waiting for you.
Watch the Hulu original series, Furious, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. For bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
This is True Crime Tradies. Listener discretion is advised. Pussies.
Hey everybody, welcome back to True Crime Tradies. I am JB, and as always, I have my master podcaster with me, Chris. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
I like that little intro.
Master podcaster.
Master
podcaster.
You're
used to being called the masturbator, but I thought master podcaster sounded better. And also, my sister on the weekend was talking about our podcast, and she was saying, she referred to you as being like the headmaster of the podcast. Like you're the serious type one. And I don't know if I agree with her. I just think maybe I'm just extra stupid, and you're the
It depends
more...
what cases she's listened to.
That's
Has she listened
true.
to all the episodes?
Not all of them. Majority of the ones. Yeah, yeah. So maybe you're like Father Hands.
That kind of principle.
Maybe. Yeah, so how's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. We've been working a little bit further from home, so the drive has been very annoying. But I don't know if you can tell.
New chair.
Finally got a new chair.
Yes.
Thanks to my wife and daughters.
Now, why did you get a new chair?
Complaining.
Why'd you get a new chair?
I got it for my birthday.
Oh, you did? I knew it was your birthday.
And
yes.
I got a chair and extra grey hairs. So that was nice.
Have you been like Borat all week? Like, I have a chair.
I think that's what I sent to you.
You did. I think you did, actually.
Yeah.
That's right. It's funny. I sent out, did a post on our socials, and I was asking everyone to send you happy birthday messages.
Yeah.
And you got some pretty funny ones. But I was giving you a hard time about being an old man. And then that very night, I got on my haunches to give one of my dogs a bit of a cuddle, and copped one of the worst hamstring cramps that I've ever had in my life. And I just felt this was karma for calling you an old man earlier. No one was home, and I squealed like like Ned Flanders when he squeals like a woman. That's exactly what I sounded like. It was, and then I just laid on the floor laughing at myself. But that painful laugh that you go through.
Yeah,
that was me last week. I know I'm older than you anyway, so yeah. These are the things you've got to look forward to.
It's obvious. You don't need to tell people you're older.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Calm down, bloody young whippersnappers. Yes.
So what have you been doing, mate? What's new with you?
Well, like you said, we had a busy week. I had an event that I went to this week for my wife, which was really good. She runs a non-for-profit organisation called Her Tech Circle. It's helping women enter and progress through Australian technology industry. So they have all these leaders of industry come to these events, and they just mentor. And it's just a really inspiring thing that she runs, where a whole bunch of women come in, and men as well, they get involved, and just to help them through these challenges that women are having in the business world, especially in IT. There's this huge shortage of people in IT, particularly women. And the stats are incredible. Like a huge percentage of women drop out of IT by the time they're about 35. And there's also this huge pay gap. You've heard about the gender pay gap. Yeah, so I think it's like 25% or something crazy like that. I've learned all these new statistics, Chris.
You are a feminist now.
I pretty much am.
Loud and proud.
Yeah. Nah, my wife.
Good on her.
Yeah, she's a baddie, if you know what I mean. So
she's a baddie.
She's a baddie. And my kids are going to cringe when they hear me say that.
She's a baddie, no cap, Dad.
Yeah. This place is bussin'. I always like to use those terms that kids use, but in the wrong context. Just to make, it's not used like that, Dad. I know, I'm just winding you up. I love it. Yeah. So it was a really good week, just busy. And I guess that's the reason why we're recording on a Thursday night. This is like last minute for us. Usually we'd be done by the weekend, and it's all the way to Thursday, and we've got to get this episode out by Tuesday. So we're sort of squeezing it in, but yeah, work's been busy. Speaking of work, actually, people are going to remember we're carpenters. If you want us to work at your house, hit us up. If you want a deck, pergola, bathroom, hit us up. We'll be at your house. We'll give you True Crime Tradies good face discounts. Our favourite type of discount, good face discount.
That is, yeah. We also do that all the time in shops.
That's it.
So far, 0%.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the listeners, we got a couple of shout outs today as well.
We do, yeah. We had a couple of people buy us a coffee this week, which was awesome. This week we had Kia donate to us. So thanks so much, Kia. That was awesome. And a second time donation from this person, Beck. So,
yeah, she's one of the OG supporters of True Crime Tradies. We love Beck. Yeah, thank you, Beck. Anytime we post something, she's on there. We're chatting back and forth with her. She's a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed her comment that she posted with the donation. It said, the amount of times I whisper to myself, fucking idiots, while listening to you two. Yeah, I know. We get that a lot. And mainly from our wives.
Yeah.
We get it. I think we do it ourselves. The amount of times I listen back and go, oh, fucking idiots. It's just,
what a dickhead, yeah.
Dickheads. But that's just part of our charm. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
So thank you so much for supporting us.
Yeah, oh, mate. Oh, it's so good. We say it every week, and honestly, it's so much appreciated. We get so excited every time we see the little bell ding up about the coffee. Yeah, we love it. So keep it coming. We'll give you guys a shout out on the next episode as well. So.
That's it, and keep those voicemails coming in too. And just really appreciative of all the support we've been getting. It's probably not a day that goes by now that we don't get some random message or an email from someone, a comment, and it's just, I don't know, it warms our hearts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's right.
Keeps us going.
Getting more people interact with us on social media, which has been awesome. We run polls on Instagram as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not following us on Instagram, you're missing out on the polls.
Exactly.
And we ran one a couple of nights ago about what you guys would prefer us to cover in the next couple of weeks. So if you're not on there...
If you want to see Chris's poll, get on Instagram.
That's it. Yep. Whether you like it or not, it's there.
You're going to see it. All right, we should get into today's episode, mate. I sort of wanted to start with a statistic, because you spoke about serial killers last week's episode. I was really fascinated with like the FBI and how many active serial killers they thought there might have been. And just as a bit of a not homage, I don't know the term, but with what we're doing today with today's case, I wanted to ask you, how many child abductions do you think that there are per year on average in the US? And I'm talking about your stereotypical kidnapping, like a child is taken by a stranger or an acquaintance, held overnight or longer, taken a long distance, or like held permanently or killed. So I'm like your proper abduction cases. Yeah. Okay. How many do you think on average there are in the US per year?
I'm going to say 700.
700, you're way off. And surprisingly, it's far less than that. There are only, on average, 115. Yeah. Yeah, 115.
Okay, well, that's good. That's still 115 too many, but
it's
not 700.
It is, but it's at the same time, 115 seems like, oh my God, that is just, the case we've got for today, it's just so horrific. If you really sit down and think about it, what happened to Elizabeth Smart, it's like, holy shit, what are the chances? And it's like getting struck by lightning. The odds of it happening, so minuscule, but to hear that there are 115 on average per year, just in the US alone, that's scary. That's really
Very
scary. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, I thought it was going to be more than that for some reason, but yeah, I'm glad it's not.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I went into a proper stereotypical kidnapping, because if we sort of went into those other numbers, there'd be probably hundreds of thousands of them, just with like a parent running off with their kids, custody battle.
You hear
or
about that
like
a lot. Yeah.
And I guess that's just why they have the Amber Alerts in the States as well, just for this reason alone. Be able to get the details out there quick and get the public to help them. We don't have anything like that here.
Don't we? No.
No, not like an Amber Alert like that. Did you have that weird alert system thing hit your phone? Was it a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I did, but I got about 2 hours after everyone else.
Did you?
So if there was a serious emergency, I'd be fucking dead.
Everyone's in bunkers, and you're just like whistling, walking down the street. Some zombie apocalypse.
Street's quiet today. How good is this?
Oh, that's funny. Yes. I think I said the next day I had my tinfoil hat on because I just feel like, why is the government doing this now? Is there something that they know that they're not telling us? I don't know.
Australia's just behind. A lot of other countries
behind the
already have
times.
it. Yeah.
That's true. We are a bit behind, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, mate, what are we doing today? I already spoiled it earlier, but what do you tell the listeners at home? What are we doing?
Well, get ready, guys, for the big surprise. We are doing Kidnapped. No, what's it called?
I think it's called Elizabeth Smart Kidnapped. We don't even know what we're fucking doing.
Isn't it the disappearance of Elizabeth Smart? Kidnapping of... Guys, we're doing Elizabeth Smart. Run the audio.
Elizabeth Smart was a 14-year-old girl. The family said she'd been taken from her bedroom in the middle of the night.
I saw this cut screen, and the window was wide open. My wife screamed, "Call 911."
Elizabeth was living a very normal life in a very nice neighborhood.
Our community had mobilized. Everybody was willing to just drop what they were doing and search.
We love you. We want you to come home safely to us.
This case captivated the nation. There was a sense of, is it the family? Could he be involved?
My wife said law enforcement don't believe that you're telling the truth. I had nothing to do with this.
There's so little evidence to go on, but there was a witness to the kidnapping, her 9-year-old sister, Mary Catherine.
I knew I'd heard the voice, I just couldn't remember where I'd heard it from.
We had the family create a list of everybody who'd been to the Smart home. One of them was Richard Reese. He was a violent felon.
Tell me what you know about the kidnapping.
I don't. Now I'm the #1 suspect.
Mary Catherine was very likely the key to finding Elizabeth. She had been asleep. She would have been groggy. Maybe she didn't realize it had been Reese.
You were in there and you were doing this and she woke up.
I'm not going to sit here and fucking kill you.
One particular night, for some random reason, the name pops into my head.
Mary Catherine said, "I think I know who it is."
We weren't going to just leave it to the authorities.
She's out there. We could not give up.
I just wanted to tell them I'm still alive.
So on June the 5th, 2002, in Salt Lake City, Utah, a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Smith.
This has started really well.
See you tomorrow. 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart was abducted in the middle of the night while she slept from the bedroom she shared with her younger 9-year-old sister, Mary Catherine.
Can I just say that Mary Catherine sounds like such a rich person's snobby name?
Oh, really? I'm thinking the opposite.
Really? Like a slums?
No, because I think I was in maybe Cambodia or Vietnam years ago with my wife, and the only show that was on there that was in English was this, it was like called Alaskan Bush People, something like that. And they lived in the middle of the
It was a porno.
Yeah, that's right, yes, from the 70s. So this family, they lived in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they were just self-sufficient. Yeah. And one of the daughters' names was Merry Christmas Catherine.
Really?
So, yeah. So every time it comes up with Mary Catherine, I think of her automatically.
Really? I just think her name would be Lady Mary Catherine. You know, it just sounds very snobby to me. And do you reckon people call her Mary Catherine, or is it just Mary? I just find that really
Mary
annoying.
Catherine the entire time. I found it really annoying too.
It's annoying. Just call her Mary or Kathy. I don't know. Kathy's such an Aussie
Kathy,
thing. Anyway. Well, I've completely derailed us after the first sentence.
First paragraph.
Yeah, sorry.
So Mary Catherine said right before they went to bed, she said their prayers together like they did every night. But then the next thing she remembers was waking up with a man inside the bedroom, standing over Elizabeth's bed. She heard him say, "If you scream, I'll kill you," before quietly leading her away.
You know what? You said over the top of Elizabeth's bed, but they actually shared a bed.
Oh, they shared the bed.
They shared the bed.
I thought they shared the bedroom.
No, they actually shared the bed too, which makes
it even... But the house is fucking ginormous.
I know.
There's no need to share a bed. Anyway, I don't know what's happening in this smart household. So Mary Catherine was frozen in fear. She just felt paralyzed in that moment, as you would. She just kept her eyes shut and she just pretended she was asleep and hopefully she wasn't seen as well. So eventually she builds up enough courage and she goes into her parents' room and lets her dad know that something's happened to Elizabeth. Her dad, Ed, he thinks, she must have just had a nightmare or something like that. So he leads her back into the bedroom. But then he notices Elizabeth is missing from the bed. So he goes through the house, room by room, searching for her.
I would be the worst dad ever in this moment because I'm such a heavy sleeper. I would take such a long time to be lucid. And also I'd need all the information before I'm committed to get out of bed. I'd be like, Jesus. What? Missing? What? What's happened? Explain the whole thing to me before I commit. Because I'm cold. It's cold outside. I don't really want to get up. I'll have conversations with my wife where my eyes are open. I'm talking to her, but I'm still asleep. She's like, "Can you roll over?" And I'll look at her and go, "Yeah, I have already." She go, "No, you're still fucking staring at me. Roll over."
So if there's a crisis, hopefully it's during the daytime with you.
And to me, I wake up and I feel like she's gone from 0 to 10, but it's actually been this build-up of progression of her getting more and more angry at me because I'm not listening to her to the point where she blows up and I'm like, "Calm down," and then I roll over. Sorry.
God, we've derailed a lot already.
You say we, it's me. Sorry.
So he's searching room by room, and with each empty room they're going through, his anxiety and the panic is just increasing more and more. And then they hit the kitchen. The window in the kitchen was wide open, and the fly screen had been cut open with a knife. So Ed's wife, Lois, she screams and says, "We've got to call the police."
Her name's not Lois.
What is it? Oh, Lois.
It's Lois.
Fucking hell. All right. Ed's gay.
Oh my God. You're like Ron Burgundy.
Oh no. Play the audio. Fucking hell.
Oh, such a good start.
Oh.
Every parent's worst nightmare.
A 14-year-old Utah girl taken from her bedroom while her family was sleeping.
How could it happen right in her own bedroom in an affluent community?
Where in the world is Elizabeth Smart?
Once the police get there, they immediately notice the fly screen in the kitchen and also a chair just outside of the window where it's been placed so the kidnapper could boost himself in. But they and a lot of the media, they're not sure that everything is how it appears. This is a really, really well-to-do area and it's got super low crime rates. So the media are having a bit of a hard time believing that someone just broke into this massive house, kidnapped a teenage girl, and was able to slunk out without ever being seen or heard by anybody. So a tip line that's immediately set up, and they get around 40,000 tips coming from the public. There were so many leads in this case that they had to assemble a team of over 100 investigators to work it.
Man, that is crazy. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be anyway. But do you think they would assemble 100 detectives if it was a black child from a low to middle class family?
No.
Because like you said, it was a well-to-do
white
area.
Family, blonde, blue eyes. Yeah.
I hate that. We hear it quite often in these cases where there's this big commotion and huge police presence for a white female, but then the black community is like, "Hey, last week someone was missing. No one gave a shit about that."
Yeah, exactly.
So unfortunate. Yeah. Money talks, man.
Yes. They dug a little bit more into who Elizabeth was. So they discovered that she doesn't have a boyfriend. She wasn't chatting to some guy online or anything like that, and no drug use at all. So she was just a really good kid. She just loved music and was heavily invested in the Mormon church along with her family. Elizabeth is one of 6 children. So she's the second oldest, but the first daughter.
Man, can you imagine having 6 kids? Man, these religious people be fucking.
They do.
Put the dick down.
Fucking hell, is there nothing on TV?
Yeah.
Jesus.
This Mormon community is just be popping our kids left, right, and center. It's crazy.
The pull-out game is weak.
Yeah.
So everyone jumps into action to search for Elizabeth and support her family. There was even a $250,000 reward that was immediately put in for her safe return.
Authorities have launched a nationwide manhunt today, Thursday, June the 6th.
The search goes on this morning for kidnapped Utah teenager Elizabeth Smart.
An innocent girl has been stolen from what should have been the safest place in the world.
Today, Salt Lake City police announce a reward, $250,000 for Elizabeth's safe return.
There was only one witness to this kidnapping, and that was Elizabeth's younger sister, Mary Catherine. The detectives wanted to interview Mary Catherine in a controlled environment, not only so she wouldn't be influenced and have the actual details muddled up, but also because she's only 9 years old.
Yeah.
So this was going to be a really, really delicate situation for them.
Yeah, the detectives have to be so careful interviewing child witnesses. So major cases will often use someone trained specifically in forensic interviewing of children rather than just having multiple detectives repeatedly coming in.
Yeah.
And that just muddles them, like you were saying. And then they use open-ended questions first and avoid leading questions. It'd be so difficult to deal with them. They'd have to really navigate it so carefully because children are so easily led.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that could happen with this.
Guys, they're quiet. If you scream, I'll shoot you, but if you don't, I won't harm you.
Did his voice sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
Can you tell me where you heard that before?
No, I can't remember.
Mary Catherine had indicated that the voice seemed familiar to her. She couldn't say whose voice it was, but it was a familiar voice.
Mary Catherine knew that she'd heard this voice before, but she just couldn't put a finger on it. The police know that more often than not, it's the family or someone close to the family that's involved in these types of cases. I mean, you just have to look at the Nicholas Barkley situation from the Imposter episode we did. Right, JB? Right?
No comment. Get over it.
So guilty. So the police, they want to take a closer look at the Smart family and see if they can find anything there. They show a family photo of all the siblings, the cousins, grandparents, grandkids, and honestly, there's like fucking 1,000 people in this fucking family photo. And each one is blonder than the next. It's like fucking Hitler's porn.
Hitler's porn. Jesus Christ, mate. Although, to be fair, I reckon you'd be Hitler's poster boy. Look at you.
Yeah, blonde and blue eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know I was almost the Milky Bar kid when I was younger in New Zealand?
You're shitting me. I'm like, really? Again, what you were?
No, that's true, yeah.
So you would have said, what, the Milky Bars are on me, kid?
Yeah. On me, like that.
Shit, really?
Yeah, it was apparently, I don't remember it, but apparently it was between me and one other kid, and obviously went with the other kid.
Oh, man, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, what a different life I would have led.
The Milky Bars would have been on you, that's for sure.
During the interviews with the different members of the family, they discovered that the house alarm had inadvertently been left off that night. Also, with the chair being left outside of the window, there was no scuff marks on the wall where you'd expect them from someone sort of hoisting themselves in, because it's still a bit of a climb from the chair to the window. Like it's not like it's a step in. You'd really have to, hoist yourself up.
Without that upper body strength, I can imagine little legs kicking up the wall.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The detective's initial view was that this wasn't the point of entry. Instead, he feels this was staged to appear like it was a break-in. They're almost certain Elizabeth was harmed inside the home, and they bring in sniffer dogs to search the home and try and track her scent. They've got this really great bloodhound named JJ, and they've got heaps of faith in his tracking skills. They bring him in, and he's able to pick up the scent really, really well. He tracked the scent into the backyard, up through the trees, followed it all the way up this trail until it got to a dead-end street, and then he lost the scent. So now the police are thinking, well, maybe Elizabeth was placed in a car here and driven away, which makes a lot of sense if the dog has lost the scent.
There's some indication that this may have been an inside job.
Police confirming they have taken 12 computers from the family.
Is it the family? Are we looking at the family?
Because the police and the media are looking a bit suspiciously at the parents, people are starting to scrutinise everything that they're doing or not doing, for that matter as well. A lot of emphasis is placed on Ed in his media interviews, where he's very upset and he's begging for the public's help with Elizabeth's safe return. But people notice that he looks like he's fake crying because he's making all the emotions and all the actions, but there's no tears.
I want to thank you all for your help. I can't thank you enough. I know it's going to take everyone's effort to find her. It's really hard to think of somebody coming in there and taking her. But I would do anything to have her back in my arms.
I can hate how judgy people get with how people grieve. If he's hysterical, he's putting it on. If he's calm, he doesn't care. If he cries without tears, apparently he murdered her. You know what I mean? There's just no getting away. It doesn't matter how you look. I think we mentioned it last episode too.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah. Yeah, you just can't win.
No.
So the police, they're putting a lot of pressure on Elizabeth's mum, Lois, old Louis, saying they believe Ed killed her and disposed of her body somewhere. Like, who else would know the layout of this huge house so perfectly?
I reckon I'd know.
You'd know?
Yeah, the architect.
What?
The architect would know the layout of the house.
You said I would know, and then the architect.
No, I would know. You said who else would? I know who would know. You just fucked up my joke.
Should I redo it?
It was a really bad joke as well.
Or say, because it made it sound like, yeah, I know. And then
I'd know. I'd know the layout.
As in you know the layout? Like, I know the layout. Like, how the fuck you know the layout?
What? Don't worry.
The police end up giving Ed a polygraph test, and he's happy to take it. But Ed, he's super, super upset, and just, I mean, he's going through the fucking worst hell you could ever imagine, and now everyone seems to be pointing the finger at him for killing his little girl. Ed's dad ends up getting so concerned for his well-being that he ends up putting him into a psych ward at the hospital.
In Utah, police searching for 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart are continuing to focus on her family members.
Newsweek magazine was reporting that her father, Ed Smart, that he completely cleared a polygraph test, but his brother Tom's polygraph, that was inconclusive.
Ed's got 3 brothers, and one brother in particular, Tom, was described as living a bit on the edge of society, or living on the bit of edge of things.
He was a weirdo.
Big time. Big time. I was super suspicious of Tom.
Yeah.
And he always seemed to be getting in trouble as well. And as we just heard, his polygraph test was inconclusive. So he was not doing a very good job in front of the media either. And he's extremely jittery, and he seems to be always putting his foot in his mouth. He comes across super odd, like you just said, and I can see why people felt suspicious when he spoke. There's this one sit-down interview in particular that really stood out to me.
Trouble. She plays the harp like an angel, and she rides a horse like a cowboy. She's unbelievable. I believe that this person is not a bad person at all, and our family has felt strongly for a while, and there's been a comfort here for a while, that this is just somebody who actually likes Elizabeth. We all have issues. Anybody who's we've been ripped apart to the core, and we understand that everybody has issues. This is a wonderful story in a lot of ways, because it's about, foremost, a beautiful little angelic girl. Everybody has issues.
Man, that's such a horrific interview. Like, if your goal was to convince America you didn't kidnap your niece, you fucking failed, mate, because you look like a pedophile. Just even the way he talked about Elizabeth being this angel and all, it gave me the ick.
Oh, definitely.
Huge ick.
Huge.
Icked me out.
As soon as the cameras stopped rolling for that interview as well, his wife comes up to him and said, "You just fucked the family." Take that, Tom. Tom admits that he was only running on like 4 days of sleep, and he was trying to hunt for Elizabeth this whole time, and he's starting to mentally collapse, and that's why he apparently botched this interview and the polygraph as well.
Yeah, we're watching it knowing he's innocent. Imagine watching the news at the time, and mate, you'd be thinking someone's going to check this guy's boot. She's probably in there. So I can, we know he's innocent now watching, so it doesn't seem as creepy. But he looks creepy as fuck. It's no wonder people are pointing the fingers at him.
Definitely. And the worst thing to come out of the police so heavily investigating the family was that the public also believed that they were behind it. So the volunteer numbers significantly dropped off with the search parties and the tip lines.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to be helping the person you suspect of being the killer?
Yeah, makes sense.
The police get a phone call saying there's remains found and it was a young female victim. Ed and his wife are told to prepare because it might be Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
The body was burnt beyond recognition, but it wasn't her.
Thank God.
The family are more determined than ever to try and find Elizabeth and bring her home safely once and for all.
Elizabeth, if you can hear us, we love you, Elizabeth. We haven't forgotten, and everybody wants you back, and we won't stop until you're home.
The not knowing is the worst part of anything. What is she going through? How is she surviving? What could you possibly do to bring this to a close?
Their younger sister, Mary Catherine, she's racking her brain and she's feeling a lot of pressure to try and remember. They even tried to hypnotize her to see if they'd help, but still nothing. The only thing she was positive of is that she'd definitely heard that voice before. The police get a list from the family of anyone and everyone that they'd come into contact with or had, been through the house. And one person in particular stood out to them. He was a dirty tradie contractor named Richard Ricky.
What a name. This guy looked like the Lorax as well. He was all
dirty Mo.
He was all mustache and his shitty scruffy hair. Also, the name Richard Ricky. Surely his nickname was Dick Dicky. Missed opportunity if not.
Big time, yeah. On suit because this guy's a bit of a dick. Bloody tradies. Dick Dicky, he'd done work on their house and he'd actually had a bit of a conflict with Ed on some wages. They get a search warrant for his house and they discover jewelry that he'd stolen from the house while working there. They bring him in for an interrogation.
When was the last time you were in that fucking house? In April. When I picked it up. I mean, what you know about the kidnapping?
I don't.
Oh, shit. You couldn't live in this valley for the last 2.5 weeks and not know something about the kidnapping. I'm not playing games. I'm not saying tell me why you did the kidnapping. I'm saying tell me what you know about it, what you've heard on the news, what you've seen in the press.
Somebody broke into the Smart's house.
Okay.
Took Elizabeth.
Okay.
Now I'm the #1 suspect. Want me to make up some bullshit?
No, I don't want you to make up bullshit.
Well, then fucking believe me, don't, God damn it. Well, there's too many things that don't. Well, I don't get what. Find out who the fuck did this shit.
So, this guy, Richard Ricky, he was a bit of a scallywag, John. So much as of a scallywag, he shot a police officer during an armed robbery. What a rascal.
That's what scallywags do. They shoot cops.
So apparently Ed had given Richard an old Jeep as payment for some handyman work, which the police end up seizing the car. They were able to determine that several hundred miles had been put on the Jeep right around the time of Elizabeth's kidnapping. But Richard, he refused to give them an explanation for the miles.
Can I say, how do they know that those miles were put on the Jeep around at the time of the kidnapping?
I have no idea.
That makes no sense to me.
It's either speculation or amazing detective work.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between there.
Yeah.
So the police, they're 99.9% sure they've got the right guy. But the only witness, Merry Christmas Catherine, is convinced that it's not the voice she heard that night. But the cops, they've heard enough. They thought, meh, what does this fucking dumb kid know? Plus, her middle name's Christmas. And she had her eyes closed.
She may be Mary Catherine smart, but as a 9-year-old, she is Mary Catherine stupid. I'll let myself out.
I'm going to confiscate your microphone.
This actually pisses me off because you basically got one eyewitness and she's telling you got the wrong guy here. And they're just going, nah, we'd think it's him because he's dodgy.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. So about a month later, on July 24th, everything changes.
Someone tried to break into the home of Liz Smart's aunt and uncle. In fact, a screen was cut in a bedroom window of Elizabeth's female cousin, an 18-year-old. Detectives have been working overtime ever since to figure out who did it and why.
Thankfully, she woke as the kidnapper tried to remove her from the bed, and the commotion scared him away, and he just ran off. When the police get to the house, they notice a chair outside the window. Exactly the same as Elizabeth's abduction. We laugh because that was the fourth time I tried to say Elizabeth without stuttering.
We need a nickname for her because you're struggling with that word tonight. For some reason, you just can't say Elizabeth.
No, it's all right. It might change to Lizzie. I'm still talking about the same person.
This is going to be a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
And a lot of editing for me.
So, because there's the chair outside the window, it clearly wasn't a copycat crime because this detail was never revealed to the public. They no longer think it could have been Richard Ricky because he was, of course, in prison at the time of the second attempted abduction. But the weird thing is, he still won't tell them what he was doing around the time of the kidnapping. It's clear that he was doing something dodgy and something illegal, and that's why he won't say anything. So the police speak to his attorney and offer him immunity if it's anything other than homicide or kidnapping. They tell the detectives, okay, well, we'll think about it and we'll get back to you. But then all of a sudden, the detective receives a phone call.
In Utah, police say the leading suspect in the disappearance of 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart has died.
Suffering either a stroke or an aneurysm in his prison cell. What secrets does he take with him?
So this turned out to be a blessing in disguise now, because at least the police can stop just focusing on him now. You know, I've got to say that he's very lucky because Mary Catherine didn't say it was him. You think about it, she's a 9-year-old girl. Imagine the scrutiny she was under to help the police and her parents. And she would have really, really badly wanted to help and could have very easily just pointed the finger at old Dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's good that she stuck to her guns.
It's like, as a 9-year-old, I just thought she was so mature. Yeah. They said, is this him? Nah, wasn't him. Yeah. And they would have been pressing her, no doubt.
Oh, for sure. So Elizabeth has been missing for over 4 months now, and her younger sister, Mary Catherine, was laying in bed one night just flicking through the Guinness Book of World Records. Is that what
it was? Guinness Book of World Records, and she was looking at strong women.
Okay,
strongest woman or something like that. I heard that on another podcast.
So she was flicking through the book when out of nowhere the name pops in her head. She knows without a doubt that voice of the man that came into her room that night. The man's name was Emmanuel. Mary Catherine remembers meeting Emmanuel in the downtown area, preaching the good word of the Lord. Probably popular verses like, "Thou shalt kidnap all the blonde, blue-eyed 14-year-old girls in Idaho." And other verses like that.
Yeah.
The mum-in-law was told this fucking Looney Tune that if he needed any work, come on over. Oh, and here's our home address.
This is the alarm code. Oh, and if you need to use the toilet, it's just down the hall opposite our 14-year-old girl's bedroom. She never shuts the door. Silly girl would be so easy to abduct.
You said you met him on the street. You know what street that was? Downtown, inside in that area, you know, and a lot of people go. I wonder if the next time that you saw this man. Oh, he came up to our house. Is Emmanuel the man who was in your bedroom? I'm not quite sure. It might have been. You're not quite sure, but it might have been?
I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
The Hulu original series, Furious, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
There are 3 victims we know of. The suspect is female, white, late 20s.
Female serial killers
kill for power, control. believe there is a deeper motivation here.
You have no idea who you're dealing with, and you are going to end up dead.
I've been waiting for you.
Watch the Hulu original series, Furious, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Police were a bit dubious to take this information as gospel, as it was only based on voice identification from a young girl's memory like 4 months prior. He wasn't even on their list of people to interview, and he was only at their house for a couple of hours doing some work like months prior to the kidnapping, and he didn't even return to the house to collect his money.
No, he didn't. Isn't that incredible? This 9-year-old remembering the name and the voice of some rando they met who was at the house for a few hours? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy. So the police begrudgingly follow it up anyway, and rightly so, because they haven't got anywhere so far with their own efforts. A sketch is done of Emmanuel. He was of medium height, thin build, dark hair, and clean shaven. But the police decide, we don't want to go public with the sketch or information because we don't want to spook the perpetrator, and they go further into hiding.
Yeah, I don't understand that. So I understand being cautious with like a 9-year-old's memory 4 months later, but like you've got fuck all, you know?
Oh, exactly, yeah.
And surely Emmanuel immediately becomes priority number one. Just release the sketch, guys.
Yeah,
isn't that the concern? Yeah, isn't that the concern with every single sketch ever made in history? That they're going to warn the perpetrator that they're coming for them?
Yeah.
I just don't get that. Why they're holding back?
I don't know why they're sitting on their hands so much. So this is where the doco changes course a little bit, and we actually get to see Elizabeth, which was so good to see.
Yeah.
She says on that day of her kidnapping, she remembers waking up to a man's voice in her room. He said to her, "I have a knife at your neck. Don't make a sound. Get up and come with me." Elizabeth was frozen in fear, and she didn't know what else to do. So she got up out of bed and she walked through the house with this guy, hoping that her parents would wake up. But unfortunately, they didn't. They just stayed asleep. Deep sleepers like you. He led her through the backyard and onto a trail through the trees. Elizabeth turned to him and asked if he was going to rape and kill her, because she thought if this is his goal, she'd prefer that he'd do it closer to their house so her parents could find her body.
Oh, man. That's horrific.
What a horrific thought for a 14-year-old girl.
I was about to say, for a 14-year-old girl to have the presence of mind to think like that in that situation, and for her thoughts to be about her family. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Very mature for her age.
Yeah, definitely.
And so innocent.
So this guy, Emmanuel, he just looked back at her with an evil smile, and he said, "I'm not going to rape and kill you yet." So they keep walking further and further into this forest until they come across a little tent where a woman steps out from inside. The man calls out her name, Hepzibah, which sounds like he's fucking revealing a magic trick. Oh, Hepzibah! And she appears out of a tent. Whoa, how'd you do that? So Hepzibah walks over to Elizabeth and hugs her. She was wearing this like long white tunic and a white headdress fucking thing.
Looked like an Islamic style.
Yeah. She looked like she was serving suicide cult on the runway. Yes, Hepzibah, work that tunic, girl. That's a joke for the RuPaul fans out there. And moving on. So she led Elizabeth into the tent. She removed her shoes and washed the dirt off her feet. She then started to try and remove Elizabeth's pajamas, but Elizabeth grabbed hold of the buttons and tried to stop her. Hepzibah told Elizabeth, "If you don't let me do it, he'll come in here and he's going to rip them off you." Elizabeth was made to put on the same white tunic as her, and then her pajamas and underwear were placed into the fire. Emmanuel eventually enters the tent and he says to Elizabeth, "I hereby seal you as my wife, before God and his angels as my witness." Elizabeth screamed, "No!" at him as loud as she could. Emmanuel just leant in and said, "If you ever scream out at me again like that, I will kill you. And if it will help you not to scream, I can duct tape your mouth shut."
I tried to explain to him that this wasn't okay. He couldn't just kidnap me and then marry me. It wasn't legal. I was just 14 years old.
But he replies to her protest with a bone-chilling response. "It's now time to consummate our marriage." Ugh. And Elizabeth, she's only a young, innocent girl. And she thought to herself, well, if I roll onto my stomach, he won't be able to rape me.
Yeah.
All right, let's skim over all this next part because I fucking hate it so much.
It's terrible. Yep.
She wakes up the next morning to Emmanuel attaching chains to her ankles just to try and stop any thoughts of escape. And this is the first time she gets to see her kidnapper's face in the daylight. And she describes him looking like Rasputin, which he really does.
Yeah.
And I imagine he fucking stinks like him as well.
Yeah, I actually looked up what Rasputin looks like, and man, that dude's gonna haunt my dreams from now on. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
I'd rather Freddy Krueger in my nightmares. This guy's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and it was really well known that he fucking reeked.
Yes. He looks stinky.
Yeah. He tells Elizabeth that his full name is Emmanuel David Isaiah, and the woman's full name is Hepzibah Elida Isaiah.
Well done.
Jesus, what a mouthful. And they had their own set of scriptures that he'd written, and apparently God commanded them to kidnap 7 young girls, which, you know what? I call bullshit on that. I don't think God actually told him to do that.
Yeah, what a generous God. Hey, God, I'm a pedophile. Got any commands for me? 7 young girls? If you say so.
Coming, God.
How convenient.
So he said that Elizabeth was the first of the 7 girls and that her younger sister or her cousin Olivia would probably end up as his wives also. Elizabeth is so scared for her younger sister and her cousin and started to think about her family a lot. She wondered if they'd even realised that she was gone yet or if they were looking for her. And because she grew up in this really religious household and constantly had lessons of no sex before marriage, she felt shameful and she wondered if her family found out about the rape, would they even want her back?
It's so sad. It's just another layer of what this piece of shit has done to her because she's the victim and she's done absolutely nothing wrong. But somehow he's managed to make her feel ashamed throughout all this.
It's what they do, isn't it? Yeah.
So much control.
Oh, they're the fucking worst. And of course, we know this is never going to be the case.
No.
I don't know how many lessons I had on don't have sex before marriage. But no one had discussed with me the difference between like consensual sex, intimacy versus rape. I felt a lot of shame and I felt like I was filthy.
As time went on, Emmanuel would bring her back missing person flyers from in town and tell Elizabeth all of Salt Lake is looking for you. Every shop window in town has your picture in it, but they'll never find you because I have you.
Evil.
One day, Elizabeth remembers, ever so faintly, just someone calling her name out in the distance. Emmanuel took her inside the tent. He pulls out this large knife and he tells her, this is the knife I'm going to use to kill anyone that comes into this camp, and their death will be your fault. She hears her name called out a few more times before it fades away into the distance, along with her hope. Elizabeth continued to be held in captivity, and she said she went from never holding a boy's hand to being raped multiple times a day, every day. And he'd always use God to justify what he was doing to her. But even she knew it was just about power and control. Every day would be spent humiliating Elizabeth, and the woman Hepzibah would encourage it. He would walk her to the water springs in the mountains like a dog and have a leash around her neck. Other times he'd force her to drink alcohol until she was just vomiting on herself. There were constant threats, not to only kill her, but to kill her family as well. A little bit more time passes, and things are looking rocky for Emmanuel and Hepzibah. I don't know why. They seem like a fucking lovely couple. Hepzibah's starting to get annoyed with Emmanuel because he'd gone to town and get a whole bunch of food for himself while she was stuck up in the mountains starving. So, cult leader or not, a nagging wife is always going to win that argument, and it's decided that all 3 of them will go into town. Elizabeth is forced to cover her face with the white headgear and a face cloth thing, and they make their way down the trails into town. On the way, a jogger runs past them, but because they look so fucking strange, the jogger just looks away and just keeps running.
Yeah, Elizabeth really wanted to cry out to him so bad, but anytime she had disobeyed them, she was raped and had food withheld. So when she made her move, she felt like she wanted it to be a sure thing.
Yeah.
She just didn't want to like yell out to some jogger running past and then risk everything getting worse for her.
You said it before about her maturity levels, and it really shows in moments like this, I think.
Yeah.
They eventually make it down from the mountains, and Elizabeth knew this town, and she knew how to get home from here. But she'd been held in captive and isolated for so long, it was like a parallel universe. All the cars and the people around were just making her scared. They went to the Salt Lake Library to look at maps, when all of a sudden, a homicide detective approaches them. He tells him he needs to make sure that the girl with him isn't the same one they've been looking for. Emmanuel told him no, because it's against their religion, and the only people that will ever see her face is her future husband and me, her father. The woman Hepzibah, she grips onto Elizabeth's leg tightly under the table, threatening her not to speak. The detective looks at him for a little while, and then he says, "Okay," and just leaves.
Oh man, this part was so infuriating. Probably the worst part of the documentary, apart from all the sexual assault stuff. He's looking for a kidnapped 14-year-old and he finds two fucking lunatics hiding a young girl's face.
Yeah.
And the bloke says, only her future husband can see her. The detective just goes, yeah, fair enough, have a nice afternoon. How many times during this documentary are you screaming at your TV to Elizabeth, and this is really unfair, but just to say something?
Yeah,
like the power.
You're waiting for your big moment. This is it.
Yeah, like they can't do anything in this situation. You have a cop right there. Why didn't she say anything? And I found myself yelling at her. I felt really bad. Like, come on, mate. What are you doing?
Yeah,
It just goes to show the power he had over her. It must have been so incredibly intense that she just felt paralyzed. Scared. Just so scared to her core.
Yeah. Well, Emmanuel rushes him back up the mountains and talk starts that they have to leave Salt Lake City. Christmas comes and goes, and her family's still searching and holding out hope that their little girl will return.
It has been almost 6 months since 14-year-old Elizabeth Smart vanished from her home in Salt Lake City, Utah.
I remember one day I was in the temple, and I overheard somebody say, "Can you believe Ed Smart? You know, he still thinks that she's alive."
Since this investigation is stalling or has stalled.
No, it is not stalled. It is not stalling.
It's been 8 months and the family's backed the police every step of the way, but they're sick of them seemingly just sitting on their hands with this Emmanuel police sketch, like we said before. They released the sketch to the media themselves. It sparks the interest back up, and calls come in from a man saying that he thinks Emmanuel might be his brother-in-law, but his legal name is Brian David Mitchell.
Yeah, so I love this because the family just says, like, fuck this, the police aren't releasing it, we will. And then all of a sudden it just cracks the case wide open. Who would have thought, hey? Isn't it unbelievable? Yeah. And especially after the same family spent months being treated like suspects. Fucking hell. And you hadn't mentioned it, but while they were being treated as suspects, police came in and seized 12 computers from the Smart family home. Jesus. And I'm thinking, is this fucking Bill Gates' house? Like, who are these nerds? Who has 12 computers? This is 2002.
Meanwhile, the kids have to share a bed, but Dad's got 12 computers.
Yeah.
A few days after the press conference, I got a call from a man who said he thought he might know who Emmanuel was. He had read it in the Deseret News. He had seen the sketch. He said that chills went down his spine. And he thought there's a chance that it could be his brother-in-law.
Personally, I would be very, very surprised if he did have anything to do with it. But he's just crazy enough. That there's a possibility. You know that he does have a teepee that he's had up in the mountains. But he has never, ever let any of the family know where. Right. If he really does have something to do with it, there's a really good chance that she's still alive.
So the brother-in-law, he sends a photo over to them, and it's the same way he looked when he did work on the Smart house, a thin and clean-cut guy. But when the police finally run his legal name, Brian Mitchell, a recent arrest photo pops up, and he is dressed like a fundamentalist preacher with the long fucking robe and the big bushy beard.
Yeah, the arrest was actually during the time he had Elizabeth as captive, so they unknowingly let him go at the time.
Shit.
Now that's really unfortunate. But how were they to know at that stage?
Oh, yeah, exactly. They end up creating a flyer with a few photos of him as well as his wife, Hepzibah, and they stated that they wanted for questioning in relation to the Elizabeth Smart kidnapping. Tips start coming in faster than Brian could speak in tongue. And they're able to get a clearer image of Brian's life over the last few years. His wife's name wasn't Hepzibah.
What?
Shocking. Oh, no, such a common name. It was Wanda Barzee. And they show this professional portrait that they had together like a few years earlier. And oh my God, you have to see this photo. It's the most terrifying photo I have ever seen. I wasn't sure that lizard people were real until I saw this fucking image. Man, I hope they never have kids because it's going to be Nightmare on Sesame Street.
They look like they had starred in that horror movie Smile.
Yes.
They're creepiest smiles you've ever seen with their big
we'll put the photos on our social media.
You've got to see it.
Oh, God, it's haunting.
Yes.
Brian believed that he's a prophet of God, and over the last few years, he seemed to be spinning more into a violent state of mind. They managed to speak to his ex-wife, and they were told he's a really dangerous individual. She apparently had a fear of mice, so he killed a whole bunch of them and then put them in the oven. So when she opened it to go cook dinner, there's all these fucking dead mice in there. So strange. And he also had previous allegations of him sexually abusing children. No shock there.
Yeah.
The flyers are getting passed around all over town, and a few reports are coming in about seeing these robed people wandering around, and they were sighted in a restaurant. They head down there and they show the flyer to the waitress, and she says, "Oh yeah, the Jesus people. Yeah, all three of them would come here to eat every now and then."
Yeah, that's the thing. They look so out of place, didn't they? So there's a whole bunch of photos that people took of them just eating dinner or like just walking down the street. They have all these photos on the documentary because they seem so random, but it makes sense because they look so out of place and so odd, like you mentioned.
Yeah, yes, heaps of photos. So they're getting more and more sightings coming in, and even a sighting from a party they attended where a photo was taken of Elizabeth with the veil and the face covering.
Yeah.
She's looking pretty much straight at the camera, and it looks haunting, this photo, because you know exactly what's going on.
And she looks, even with her face covered, she looks so young, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And she's at I think it's like a party, like you said, like a club, and there's drugs and alcohol. Yeah. And some guy questions it going, "Oh, who's this?" And then it's just so weird.
Yeah, he tries to talk to her, and then Hepzibah butts in and says, no one's allowed to talk to her. So all of these sightings are great, but there's been no verifiable sightings of them for a few months. And that's because they jumped on a bus and headed to San Diego. San Diego, a whale's vagina.
What? What do you mean?
It's from Anchorman.
Oh. Like,
sorry, it wasn't Seinfeld in The Office.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
You must have been so confused just then.
I was.
So it's been 9 months since the kidnapping. 9 months.
Yeah.
And they're still living in a tent in the forest, and Elizabeth is being raped daily. But she doesn't know what was worse, being raped or having to listen to him talk non-stop about how fucking special he was.
God, that just shows you how infuriating he would have been, or just insufferable. Then I don't know what's worse, being raped or that. That is just,
Yeah. So he started blabbing one night about the places and the cities that they were going to go travel, like New York and Boston. All these places are so much further away from Elizabeth's home. So Elizabeth has this idea. She tells him, I've got a feeling. I think we're supposed to return to Salt Lake City. And I know God wouldn't really speak to me, but I know if you asked him, he would confirm to you if it was the right path or not, because you truly are his servant and truly a prophet. And this dumb fuck believes it. And he says, oh my, God is finally starting to work with you now that he recognizes your nothingness. Yes, we are supposed to return to Salt Lake City. I can feel it too.
Yeah, she's 14, probably maybe even 15 by now, and she's already worked out exactly how to manipulate him because she knows she can't overpower him, but she's using his own ego against him here.
Yeah,
Really smart, because, like you said, she did not want to move away from home, because the further away she got from home, the less likely she'd be returning.
Definitely.
So that was this last-ditch attempt, and yeah, it worked. Well done.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah. So they get on a bus and they head back. So Emmanuel's plan is to get Elizabeth up to the mountains as quickly as possible, and she wasn't going to be allowed to come back down because it was obviously just going to be too risky. They get off the bus and they start walking through the town towards the mountains. But, of course, because of what they're wearing, they stick out like fucking hard-ons and sweatpants. And the calls to 911 start coming in.
Hard-ons and sweatpants.
911. Just want to call if I think I see that Emmanuel they're looking for.
2003, I was a patrol sergeant for the Sandy City Police Department. I hear a dispatcher broadcast that someone has called in on a possible sighting of Elizabeth Smart with 3 people walking down State Street. Of course, we got numerous calls, throughout the months, and they all turned out to be false. So, to be honest, I was very hesitant to believe it's going to be true.
A police officer rolls up and he starts questioning them. They all say they've got no identification and they're just messengers from God. They'd put Elizabeth in this disguise with this really shitty, cheap-looking wig, and they're asking her questions, but she's not really making any sense. So they try and separate her from the other two. The officer says to her, "Hey, we're looking for this girl. Her family's never given up hope to bring her home. Don't you want to be able to go home? Please tell me you're Elizabeth." She was terrified because her captors were still in earshot. So she says to them, "Thou sayest." And the officer says, "I've never heard those fucking words in my life, but I'm going to take that as a yes." And they place her in the back of the police car.
Doesn't that sound like something out of The Handmaid's Tale, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Blessed be the fruit, Chris.
Bitch, I just asked you if you're Elizabeth. Right?
Yeah.
Riddle me this. So Elizabeth is finally able to breathe a sigh of relief and she just breaks down and cries. Her dad, Ed, is told to come down to the police station straight away. And as he enters, there's a row of officers standing at attention. As Ed's walking past them, they're all saying, "God bless you, and I hope everything works out." As he gets to the end of the line of the officers, the lead detective says to him, "Ed, I think we've found her."
I mean, that's great, but just to think 9 months earlier, this bloke was being accused of killing his daughter.
Yeah.
With based on no facts, and all of a sudden they're doing this fucking weird sort of shrine thing. I don't know, what do you call it? Little
little salute thing.
Salute thingy, yeah. And just, I don't know, sucking up to him now. It's like, yeah, you motherfuckers. We could have gotten this guy a lot earlier if you just released that sketch.
Yeah,
You know?
true. I didn't think of that.
Hmm.
So he enters the room and Elizabeth is sitting alone on the couch. Her face is all sunburned and swollen, and she didn't look like the little girl that was taken from him 9 months ago. She now looks like a young lady.
My brain is just going 100 miles an hour. And I said, "Elizabeth, is it really you?" And then she goes, "Yes, Dad." I held my miracle in my arms.
They just embraced each other and they didn't let go. She actually said she thought she was going to get in trouble by her dad. It's such a touching moment, and Elizabeth can finally come home to her family.
Utah's miracle. Elizabeth Smart is alive and well after 9 months.
15-year-old Elizabeth Smart was found alive today.
280 days after she was kidnapped.
It's as if she came back from the dead.
This is a story that defies all odds.
A lot of people all across the country bursting into tears.
Spirits are soaring here in Salt Lake City.
It's real. It's real.
Her captors are, of course, arrested and brought into the station. The detectives attempt to interview them, but they're just still as crazy as ever.
I've never lied about anything. All I've told you
Then
is
you tell me the truth. How did Elizabeth wind up with you? Tell me the truth right now.
By the power of God, she was delivered to us.
Every time we got close to him making an actual admission of criminal conduct, he would launch into a spiel.
And I am the servant of the Lord.
No.
And I've only done what I've been commanded to do.
I found him very crafty.
Get thee behind me, Satan! Get thee behind me, Satan!
I'm not Satan, and I'm right here.
Get thee behind me, Satan!
And I wanted a rational explanation.
Get thee behind me, Satan!
Satan, get behind me! Loser. Fucking what a loony.
Fucking Looney Tunes. The district court judge kept delaying the trial because there was a debate over Brian's mental health. It began to drag on for years until 2010, so about 8 years after the actual kidnapping. Elizabeth didn't want to see her captors ever again, but she knew how important it was to get them locked up. She really believed that given the opportunity, they'd definitely kidnap another girl.
Yeah.
Brian David Mitchell was finally found guilty of kidnapping and transporting a minor across state lines for sexual activity, and he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. His wife, Wanda Barzee, pleaded guilty to kidnapping and transporting a minor across state lines for sexual activity and was sentenced to 15 years in prison, but she was released in 2018.
Oh, man, this infuriated the fuck out of me here. How is she only getting 15 years for the exact same charges as Brian got? Yeah, she didn't rape Elizabeth herself, but she was completely complicit with it. That's why they had the same charges. But just because she rolled over on him to testify for the prosecution, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And I'd heard in an interview with Elizabeth, and she talked about how angry she was about that leniency that she got. For her to be out now, that's just a slap to the face to her. She should have got life in prison as well.
For sure.
Did the prosecution really need her?
No, they wouldn't.
No, they didn't need her. They had Elizabeth. They didn't even need her. So why give her that leniency? It made me so mad.
Yeah. Well, she was arrested again in May of 2025 after allegedly violating her sex offender restrictions by visiting parks in Salt Lake City. So she's now 80 years old and still living in Salt Lake City, Utah.
She's 80? Holy shit. Just die, you old witch.
And why would you still live in the same town that you fucking kidnapped a girl from?
Arrogance. I think she's clearly insane.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Well, Elizabeth, she was able to move forward with her life and heal. She ended up getting married in 2012 and went on to having 3 children.
I have good days, I have bad days, but I've developed a better relationship with myself. My inner voice has changed from, you should have done this or you could have done that, to, you'll make it through this, you can finish this, you're strong, keep going. You can survive anything that comes your way.
She created the Elizabeth Smart Foundation, which continues to strive for social change and is an advocate for survivors in the fight against sexual violence.
Yeah, this is just another case where the victim turns something horrific into something positive again.
Yeah, we say it all the time.
Yeah, not letting the trauma define her, but actually pulling strength from it to help others. I just find that so admirable, just inspiring. It's so good.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to say, this one bothers me. Like, of course it bothers me, but it's how evil people use religion. They hide behind it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the religion that makes it evil, but it's because it's sort of something they can get behind. And then suddenly it's not, I want to do this. It's God wants me to do this.
Yeah.
And if you question them, you're not questioning them, you're questioning God or their God, whatever version of God there are. That really, really bothers me.
Definitely.
You know? Okay, enough about Brian. Actually, speaking of Brian, that's our third evil Brian we've had in the last few weeks. Have you noticed that?
We had Brian Laundrie, this Brian. Who was the other Brian?
Brian last week. We had the Idaho murders.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Kohberger,
Kohberger.
The rapper.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen his rap song, we found it and we put it on our social media.
I thought, I think it's Tupac?
It's on our TikTok and Instagram, so check it out. It's
hilarious.
It is shit.
Yeah, it is shit. But back to this story, I've got to say that the real hero of this story is Mary Catherine.
Definitely.
Oh, man. What a brave little girl, you know? And she literally saved the day. Because without her, Elizabeth may have never been rescued because she was the one to come up with the name.
Yeah.
And then the sketch, which was made by Ed, because she never saw his face, so he's going off memory as well. That sketch of him didn't look really anything like him either.
No, definitely not. No.
But the thing is, they released this sketch, and then all of a sudden,
and that was enough to spark the public. Yeah. Who would have thought the public can come to help?
Oh, that's it. And what did you think of the documentary overall?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I've said it numerous times, I don't like rape cases and kidnapping. I mean, I think it's because I've got 2 young girls. But I really liked this one. I liked how both the sisters were so good, so smart and so determined.
Yeah, a happy ending in a sense, even though it's a horrific case, still a happy ending. And interestingly, that the mum didn't get involved in the documentary at all. I thought initially she must have passed away, but then they mentioned just at the end, she just wants all this behind her. Which is fair enough, because it's just a chapter in your life you just want to forget.
Exactly.
And like you said, Elizabeth turned out to be quite a normal, well put together adult, which is incredible considering what she went through. And having been married with 3 kids, it's amazing. So good on her.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what do you think of it?
Yeah, the second time around watching it, I enjoyed it more the second time. First time, I don't know. It's an old case. I usually gravitate towards more the newer cases. And look, kidnapping ones really aren't my jam. But no, I did enjoy it, and to get her on the show was great as well. I know she's appeared on a hell of a lot of either podcast or other documentaries, so she really does like to get her face out there and tell her story, which is great. But no, unbelievable story considering that she was missing for 9 months. I mean, the odds of her returning home alive, not physically harmed, incredible. So
for sure.
Amazing story. Good one. Good one to pick. So
definitely, Well, we've had a couple of heavy episodes with the Idaho last week, and then we've got this Elizabeth Smart one now, obviously. So we thought we'd lighten it up a little bit for next week. And we've got a real doozy for you guys, and particularly for our listeners outside of Australia, you guys are going to love this one. This is so Australian, it's ridiculous, and it has everything. It's got arson, it's got a pet crocodile, it's got murder, it's got was the person minced up into meat pies and fed to the town.
It's amazing.
And it's all based in a town which has a population of 11. 11 people, and all the shit is happening.
Amazing.
Oh, hang on. No, it's now 10 because someone died. So
that's it.
definitely.
And if you haven't guessed what it is by now, this one is called Last Stop Larimar.
So good.
We're coming into town. Hey, we're coming in for a beer. Good boy.
Larimar is a town of 11 people. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, Australia. There's no cell phone reception. There's really nothing aside from one pub and a pet crocodile.
And not bragging or anything, I put Larimar on the map. Here we are, everybody.
Just grab a quick beer.
He has a habit of biting.
It was just a whole hippie thing going on. My sort of place, you know.
There we go, folks.
That's where Paddy used to live. That's where he went missing.
Last time I saw Paddy was December the 16th.
3 years later, folks, and off he went.
The next day I did go looking for him.
He wasn't there.
There was no sign of any disturbance.
There was a very eerie feeling.
Everyone in Larimar was a suspect. What's your relationship with Paddy?
Did you knock Paddy off?
Where's Paddy's body?
Do you know what happened? Are you involved?
I don't know nothing.
Paddy Rock's definitely not an angel.
True.
What happened with Paddy? That's been on the agenda for a long time.
Perhaps Paddy was murdered and put into some pies.
What's stopping Barry from feeding him to the crocodile? That's why the crocodile's fat.
There was utter hatred in this town.
There's 3 sides to every story. There's yours, there's mine, and then there's the truth.
I can't wait for this one. Like you said, we've had a few heavy episodes, a bit harder to get the humour going, but I think we're just going to be pretty much laughing the whole time this time next week. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you are listening, enjoy, and do all the things we say, rate, review, comment, all those things. Also, we wanted to mention a few weeks ago we started doing this podcast as a video format as well, so you can actually watch us act like dickheads on your computer screen or on your phone. And we're going to say that we're starting to incorporate a little bit more of your body-worn footage or court footage when we can get it. We can't exactly put in stuff that you see on the documentary because of copyright, that bullshit thing that we can't do. So, but if there is body-worn stuff and we can use it because we can get it from other sources, we're going to put it in there. So it's a good idea to watch it because you'll be able to see what we can see and what we're talking about.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of that in the Idaho episode that we did. So if you go back to that one and check out the body cam footage, and I think you did it for
Lucy
Olivia's testimony.
Yes, her victim impact statement.
Victim impacts, and that was so good. Yeah, so you can definitely watch along with that.
Exactly. So, and look, if you don't have time to just sit in there and watch us, if you even just watch us for a short period of time, a couple of minutes, actually helps us a lot with our numbers and what we get from Spotify. So, yeah, even if you just watch for a little bit and then can start listening, that'd be really helpful. But we're going to stop begging. We do it every week. I'm going to stop begging, turning into professional beggars. Anyway, up until next time, Chris, try not to murder anyone.
You too, mate. All right. Love ya.
Avatar Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole family.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.